Good morning. All right, let's get started. So Israel's bombing Iran right now. It's kind of a big deal. And we've got war stocks running. We have oil. We have drone stocks. Energy stocks. This kind of stuff. Now, I probably will take a swing on energy soon. Yeah, something like this one. I don't know. I haven't picked the one yet, but you can see that back over here in 2022, energy stocks were running and the market was selling off. So that's around the time the Ukraine war started. And now this one in particular, I mean, I'm not necessarily going to buy this one, but this one's looking okay. It's got a nice pullback. We have some nice basing action over here. So I might start loading into a swing here on some energy. We've got a brand new war started up. So, of course, they say that they want to make a deal, they want peace, they want a ceasefire. But you know how that goes. Russia thought that the Ukraine war would be over in a couple of weeks, but it's still happening years later. And then people kind of just get used to it after a while. So that's how it is. So this one it's looking pretty good. It's got some nice action here at the bottom. A lot of times, best case scenario, you get like a head and shoulders, upside down head and shoulders action for the bottom. And then it finds its way out of that. So this one looks pretty good, actually. And if it can maybe dip a little bit more, I might take a position on it. I'll take a look at some other ones too. It's going to be a swing trade idea. So we do have UAVS long right now. This is one of those drone stocks, small cap. But look at this daily. You have a super nice daily. Yeah, we bought around $1.30, just buying consolidation, and we'll see what it does. It is pushing the highs right now. So keeping a close eye on that for the swing. So look at that daily, just a nice base here, nice flag, pushing the highs right now. Looks like it wants to pop up towards 250, somewhere in there. So that's going to be the target area for us. Looking to make something like, I don't know, 50 to 100%, something like that. Totally doable, and we just did something similar on BATL. This one was an oil stock. Small cap. Bought this over here. Where we get it? Yeah, we got it right here, right around $2, 203, and gapped it overnight. So that was a nice gap, 75% on that one. So UAVS, if this does break out, then we're gonna be seeing this push to 250, at least two to 250, maybe even 3. So that'll be the goal with UAVS. Take a look at some swings or some, not swings, gappers. Really quick. ACXP. ACXP, we have a huge gap. Right, so this is above $1. We like these above $1 for shorting, but got to be super careful. Pharmaceutical, some kind of drug news. Phase 2B clinical trial data. Uh, 15 out of 16 patients. So a 16 patient trial, kind of a small trial, but looks like good results on that. Still super early for that, I think. Let's see how this thing moves. Typically, a little bit of resistance on the chart. Not too bad, though. Not too bad. So we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully we do a pre-market clear out move for short. PCSA. Wow. Straight up move. What do we have here? Pharmaceutical company again. Phase 2 trial. Entered into a binding term sheet with Intact Therapeutics, granting exclusive license to whatever this drug is. Gastropariasis. Okay, this is what matters. We have $20 million in development. Okay, they're eligible to receive 2.5 million option exercise fee, up to 20 million in development and regulatory milestone payments, over 430 million in commercial milestone payments. So taking a 3.5% equity stake in Intact Therapeutics. Interesting. Same playbook though as the other one. We will wait. Wait for the blowouts to happen. Maybe take a position. A lot of resistance on this one. Kind of blasting through it though. So it really has room to run up to $3. PCSA. All right. On the watch list, SLRX, another pharmaceutical. So we got top three are pharmaceuticals here. Okay, let's see. What do we got here? Disclose it received an extension from the NASDAQ to regain compliance. So they're not going to get delisted for now. No resistance on the chart, really. Now, not until $4. So this potentially could run, catch some people off guard, super low float, regaining compliance. A lot of what happens with these, you get these short sellers just trying to take this down to zero. At what point is it no longer worth it? I'm not sure, because you got to pay those overnight fees. But I think that happens a lot with these, trying to swing short into oblivion. And then when something like this happens, hey, guess what? We're not going out of business. We're not getting delisted anymore. Oh, time for a squeeze. Verve. It's more of a mid cap. Just going to avoid that one. CERO. Another therapeutic. Received FDA orphan drug designation for acute myeloid leukemia. Okay, FDA orphan drug designation. That's pretty good news. This one moved a lot already. $6 to $17, $16.50 all at once here in pre-market. Kind of insane. This one is a micro float. So, again, not a ton of resistance. Not a ton of resistance. Could run to $28. And it's a micro, so these things can get stupid. They can get really crazy. Okay, keep an eye on it. SAFX, I guess we'll just... well, this one could be a bounce short. This one could be... It is a bigger market cap. Let me check the float here. 35 million float. Accelerating the aviation's industry transition to net zero emissions. Okay. Looks like a recent IPO. Somehow it came from $40. And this isn't China, is it? This is the US. So I guess they IPO'd at a crazy price. And just been selling off from that. Morning, Scotty. Not really sure about this one. Looks like a recent IPO, but 30 million float. We'll keep an eye on it. Maybe get a bounce short. And yeah, one of the best shorting opportunities lately, which I kind of botched this one yesterday, but it happened perfectly, played out perfect. SONM yesterday. Look at that, bounce short. Bounce over VWAP, it's a gapper. Bounce it over VWAP, fade it back down. Make 20% right there. So that's what I want to see from this one. Any of these gappers can do that. All right, INEO, recent runner. This one bounced, and it just had a little rip in pre-market and round tripped. So, kind of already done. All right, that's pretty much all the gappers. Looking good. Recent runners though, we have CGTL. CGTL. This one looks like a liquidation here on the 13th. Really sketchy. But it is bouncing right back up. Interesting. Maybe bounce short, but it's super illiquid. Keep an eye on it, but that's a typical pattern I like to go after. Not with this liquidity though. Xena, the drone stock. Again, kind of illiquid, but I am watching for a support crack on this. And it had a very similar kind of move as CGTL on the 13th. Same exact pattern. Big old fake breakout with a trend break. And then the golden cross. So I would expect this one to just roll over. But we do have the war situation. This is a drone stock. Now, this isn't the best drone stock. This is probably one of the more junky ones. But yeah, I would eventually expect this to break support and then give a nice easy fade back to 380. So we'll keep an eye on that. Hopefully we get another bounce back up and then a rollover. So just watching some stuff like that. On top of these gappers. So the best one looking like ACPX, but I won't touch it unless it does a clear out. I always get in trouble if I try too early. So I want to see it push over, yeah, at least pre-market highs. So I'll never hit the round trip moves, but then I'll never get blown out either. SAFX, possibly one of these VWAP bounce shorts coming. We'll see. Put an alert in and see if it hits. So a couple trades from yesterday. BATL. Overnight oil swing. We already went over that yesterday. So, but anyways, these hot sectors come along. Right now it's oil, drones. Maybe uranium's going to heat up. We might be able to do a play on uranium. We'll have to see. Traded this one live yesterday. OP. This is a gap up short. So classic gap up short setup. And then I just, I lock it in into the dip. And that happened to be the bottom. So I kind of know what range I want out of it. And if it gets there, I take it. Pretty much it. If it keeps going, oh well. After it's played out, though, it looks insane. Drones are strong right now. We have UMAC. This is the leading drone stock. And really, really nice green day yesterday. Looking super strong. Held this dip really well over here. And now it's breaking out a little bit. Little breakout. Nothing huge yet. I think it's got more in it. I do think it's got more in it. At least, give me another green day or two. That's all we want. And I'm trading UAVS. So UMAC is kind of more of a mid cap. UAVS is the small cap. So, but they kind of mirror each other a bit. I probably should have bought some UMAC as well. So that's mainly it. I ended up, I'm waiting to rebuy UNH. So we'll see what it does in the next day or two. Yeah, best case for me, since I'm not in, is a pull back to 300 and pull up UNH. Yeah, UNH. So super nice consolidation. Huge wedge breakout right here. And once the Israel-Iran situation started on Friday, or, Thursday, Friday last week, I wasn't sure about the swings anymore. So just wasn't sure what they would do. It seems like things tend to pull back when a war starts. So got out of those swings and just reassessing the situation. Talked about that yesterday before the stuff dipped. So mainly swinging the oil, drones, maybe uranium right now. So I think I'll give you an H today to figure out what it's going to do. Maybe you should just buy some here. Hard to say. Definitely we'll keep an eye on it. At the end of the day, though, if it makes it back up to 380, then it doesn't matter if I buy at 305 or at 300. All right, 3 minutes to the bell. Things possibly just still heating up over there in Iran. A lot of bombing going on. They've destroyed nuclear facilities, the uranium facilities, and bunkers and things like that. Uh, Here's some news. The sky just got crowded with U.S. tankers. Tonight's flight tracker, this is last night. Oh, it does say that. Let me get rid of that. Thank you. Uh, yeah, so tonight's flight tracker shows a wave of U.S. Air Force tankers swarming the northeast skies. These aren't regular planes, they're flying gas stations. And a lot of them. They just launched across the country in a hurry. So a lot of these Air Force tankers hitting the skies, maybe preparing for something. I don't want to say it's imminent. I need to get some sound bites of Trump saying stuff. I don't want to say it's imminent. I don't want to say it's imminent because that's what he said right before an imminent attack on Iran. I don't want to say it's imminent, but it's imminent. Chinese embassy advises citizens to leave Israel through land border crossing as soon as possible. 13 hours ago. Trump has requested that the National Security Council be prepared in the Situation Room. So I don't want to say it's imminent. All right, let's see what we can do. Good luck. Yeah, UNH is bouncing a little bit. Tesla pulling back a bit. Just a lot of pharmaceuticals today on the gappers. SRM, the crazy runner from yesterday, having a nice week open. Probably should be short already. Hopefully it bounces back. RB&E bouncing a bit. Looks like it's halted up. Al bought it. Long from 770. Looking kind of good. Now we do have kind of an absurd target for this strategy. So I don't know if I'm going to let it totally manage itself. So Al is the algo, aptly named. Al's buying Hussa as well. Those are looking okay. Yeah, he's busy today. Yeah, honestly, it never seems like it can do uh, the target, because who would think that it's going to run that much? But somehow it does it. Somehow it does it. I don't know. Indo's running too. Oh yeah, Tesla's getting hit. I'd be selling Hussa here, but Al doesn't think so. Gotta let Al take the wheel. CERO and pushing nicely. This is the micro float. I'm keeping an eye on BBAI. It kind of already popped, but there's a nice little daily structure here. Nice base, and then we have this higher low kind of flag. So it's sort of threatening to break out, but I like it better around 450 if it can get up there and hang out. So again, Al's long on Hussa. 1345. And RB&E. 769. SRM not bouncing. I'd say RB&E is more likely to work for this algo trade because the targets are kind of wild, but that's why they work. So you don't get them very often, at least for this setup. So we got to let it ride. Go for some crazy targets and see if you can hit them. There is a chance. RB&E is looking kind of wild. Yeah, we gotta let Al take the wheel. Not loving UAVS. Very illiquid, but I don't know. It's a drone stock. We'll see. UMAC. Same thing, just having a little pullback here. We'll see if it can hold up at the highs and continue the breakout, hopefully. Hoping SRM bounces for a short. News is Iran wants to de-escalate. I mean, I don't think they have a choice at this point. But we'll see how long they can hang in there. Also, the threat too is if China wants to get involved, or if China acts like they want to get involved, then they back Iran. Or Russia. So that'll be probably the biggest escalation we could see. Man. CERO. Getting wild. Breaking news from Trump. I have not reached out to Iran for peace talks. Iran stock market remains closed until Sunday. Israel military says it completed a wave of attacks in western Iran a short time ago. It was 26 minutes ago. So they're still bombing. Okay, how low is SRM gonna go here? Maybe second leg down. Ideally, it panics and it flushes down to $6 or something. Looks like it's stalling out here though. No good. Oh, maybe we get the flush. Trying again on the flush. Let's see it. Nice. Can it do more? I think it does more than that. Maybe that's all it's got. It's pretty good. 20% dip off the top. Okay, here we go. Testing the 80s. Not my favorite kind of flush, but yeah, unfortunately it just didn't bounce like I wanted, and it's going way too easy. So couldn't really get size that I wanted on it. Just feels like a big chase. But here we go, it's doing it anyways. 660s now. Just locking in some small gains. Small profit. So I basically took the second leg down on it because I wanted the first, I wanted to bounce. So I wanted to squeeze everybody out. That was trying early. And then we didn't get that squeeze. So it ended up just rolling over really easy. And it could go lower for sure. But basically tried to reclaim this moving average right here. And then it failed back under that moving average. And that's kind of a huge sign of weakness that it wants to go lower. Set up to go lower too. And so I'm just taking like 10% on it. Now, if this does a panic, if it does a true panic, I'll buy the dip. Yep, 70s now. It's just, it looks weak. It looks like it wants to go lower. RB&E is looking weak now. Okay, Microsoft, I see. So you're long at 475.20. Looks pretty good. Yeah, SRM 640s now. Yeah, Microsoft looks pretty good. Looks like RBNE is just dead. SRM 640s, still weak. So your hourly MACD looks really good. PCSA going nuts. Sub dollar. So this might be why drones are down this morning. We have our cat doing an offering, probably dragging down the other drones. Yep, that was a good one. CERO at the highs. Micro float. Not getting a ton here. SRM was the main opportunity for me this morning. ACXP trying to reclaim. Yeah. And my goal too is not to take a whole bunch of trades, it's to take good quality trades. Hussa's hanging in there. That's nice. SLRX trying to reclaim. This might give us our bounce short. We'll see. Some Tesla news. Tesla plans to shut down Model Y and Cybertruck production over the week of July 4th. Maybe that's why Tesla's taking a hit. Trump says, not too much in the mood to negotiate with Iran. 26 minutes ago. Coinbase seeking U.S. SEC approval to offer blockchain-based stocks. Interesting. All right, I'm gonna call it there. Gonna get going. Uh, Al is still in HUSA and RB&E, so hopefully those can take off. We'll see. Still watching SRM, maybe for bound short or SLRX if it can do it. But that'll be pretty much it. Good luck, everyone. We'll be back tomorrow.